Hey everyone, it's 𝗏𝗂 and today we are in Newport at our summer home. Just kidding, this is actually Rose Cliff, which is one of the Newport mansions that you can tour. We're here today to walk around, sightsee, enjoy the views, maybe have some dinner at one of the restaurants, and just have fun. We're also going to check out the boat ramps. There's one over at Fort Adams State Park, so we're going to see if it's any good to launch our wave runners from. But I think it's small, but we'll check it out. So come on along and have some fun with us. Parking in Newport is both challenging and expensive, but we parked at the Gateway parking lot behind the Hamilton Family Aquarium. At $2.50 per half hour, it's a bargain compared to lots that charge over $13 an hour. I want to give a quick tip to save you some money. As I mentioned, parking is $2.50 per half hour here in the garage, but if you take your parking pass, get on trolley number 67, you can ride it as short as one stop and ask for a receipt. They will validate your parking ticket when you leave, and you will only pay $5 for the entire day. Also, the trolley is kind of cool because it takes you all around the main touristy areas of Newport, so you don't have to walk. Newport is packed with things to do, but if I had to guess, I'd say the historic mansions are the biggest draw. Most of these massive estates were the summer homes of New York's elite, places they only used for 3 months each year. They were built during the Gilded Age of the late 1800s and early 1900s and are stunning and definitely worth seeing. Some of the houses around here are so large, it's hard to tell if they're part of the tour or someone's private residence, but most are tucked away behind ornate gates and fences and have a private sign posted somewhere, so that's usually the giveaway. Another popular attraction is the cliff walk, which winds along the rocky shoreline and gives great views of the water and mansions. We're big tennis fans and visited the International Tennis Hall of Fame. It's on the ground of the historic Newport Casino, which dates back to the 1800s. Admission is free if you're just walking around the grounds, and the courts are open to the public, but there is a fee to tour the museum. I definitely recommend a visit, at least to the grounds, because it's a unique blend of sport, history, and elegance. On the way there, we passed a classic Rolls-Royce parked out front and had to take a video. If you want to see Newport from the water but don't have a boat, you have plenty of choices. You can hop on a tour boat like the Rum Runner 2, or a larger sailing vessel like the 𝗚𝗏𝗏. But one of our favorite options is the harbor shuttle. For one price, you can get on and off as often as you want and enjoy great views of the harbor, including some massive yachts that you probably won't see from downtown. One time when we took the shuttle, we saw the 76-meter yacht called Podium, which is owned by Roger Penske. It's one of the prettiest boats we've ever seen. If you're heading to Block Island, the ferry pickup point is just a short walk from the harbor shuttle stop. Getting around Newport usually means a lot of walking, but you can also rent bikes, mopeds, three-wheelers, and even slingshots. Prices vary, but full-day rentals can run a few $100s. Downtown Newport is made up of a few different areas. The waterfront is along America's Cup Avenue, which is lined with piers, called wharfs, that are filled with shops, restaurants, and large docks. Those are rented out to transient boaters from all over the world, with everything from small boats to huge yachts. I'll show you some of the yachts we saw later in the video. One of the newer spots in town is Hamet's Wharf. It's home to a boutique hotel, restaurants, and shops like Saltzman Watches. Thames Street is the main shopping area and is an old cobblestone road. There's a mix of restaurants and stores, but one of the stores is definitely a tourist trap. Literally. We're not sure what was going on at the John Galt store or the Nitro bar a little further down the street, but the lines were wrapped around the block for both. There's also national chains such as Jose's A Bank and The Gap. And on some days, there's bands that play. Art is very popular around the city, and I thought this umbrella display was really cool. If you love food, Newport's got you covered. There's tons of restaurants, and most have a great view. We were looking for something quick, but we struck out on takeout, so we ended up at the Red Parrot, which is one of my favorite places. There's a lot more to do than just the area by the water. For instance, Bellevue Avenue has lots of great shops and cafes like Picnic, where Nancy got an amazing iced coffee. Rhode Island has great public access laws, so we were able to get close to a lot of the yachts, though the docks themselves are private and off limits. If you're spending the night, Newport has plenty of options, from big-name hotels to boutique spots like the Brenton and Hammets. For a luxury stay, there's 41 Degrees North. For something cozier, check out Serenity Inn or the Almondy. Some hotels that aren't directly by the water are the Hotel Viking and the Michelin-rated Vanderbilt. Of course, there's lots of other places to stay, and there's something for every budget. Newport also has some beautiful parks. 𝗚𝗏 Park is known for its statues in the old stone mill. King Park has a nice gazebo and a monument dedicated to General Rochambeau. Newport is full of old houses, and the oldest dates back to 1697. Our final stop was Fort Adams State Park to check out the boat ramp, but the bottom line is the parking lot was tiny, and I wouldn't want to take a chance there'd be parking if we drove all the way from Connecticut to launch there. The views are pretty from there, however. If you're into history and old forts, the fort is definitely worth touring. We ended the day watching boats come and go from the nearby docks, admiring the historic 𝗚𝗵𝗽𝗏 sailboat and soaking in the harbor views. So as you can see, Newport, Rhode Island offers a lot to do. There's tons of restaurants, lots of places to shop, and they're launching cannons here at the fort. And there's sightseeing things you can do too, like tour the Fort Adams State Park Fort, where we are. And we found a boat ramp here, but I wouldn't trust coming all the way from Connecticut because the parking lot was tiny, and I'd be afraid there wouldn't be any spots for us to park once we got the boats launched. But if you have any questions about the area, please leave a message in the comments below, and I'll be happy to answer as best I can. As always, thanks for watching and have a great day.